Well, after a bit of a struggle, I've actually got the timing side bush, main bearing bush assembly all assembled correctly with the little locking pin to stop the bush rotating in the steel sleeve in place. I've got the steel sleeve with the new bush pressed into the crankcase, which put up a bit of a fight. Even though I heated the crankcase, it certainly wasn't going to drop in like that other one that I experienced earlier on in the day. But it's all in there now, and I've checked with compressed air and with the oil can that oil goes from the outlet of the pump, oil pump, through that port and comes out through all four holes that we've got in the timing side bush there, so I know they're all clear. And I've also pumped oil backwards through each one as well, just to make sure there's no debris or dirt or anything in there. That's all clear and ready to go. And thrust washer, I've actually got a good used one there. I've got a new one here, but I'm not going to use that because it's been stamped out when they made it. Whether the camera will pick that up, it looks a bit convex and is actually sort of distorted. Whatever means they've used to make that has actually distorted and dished it. So if you used that and set your crankshaft end float between 1.5 and 3/1000ths of an inch, and then this settled down, it's distorted by a good few thou. Whereas this one, it's used but good, is actually perfectly flat, and also fits in these little sort of notches, rebates that house it. Now, there's another good reason for not having much end float, and that is, get this out, it's a snug fit in those little jaws, if you like, but only by a few thou. Now, if you had enough end float to allow it, and it wouldn't take much, this could dislocate from there. It's a tight fit in there, but it could dislocate, try and rotate, and if it did, it'd break off those ears, possibly crack the thrust washer. And I have seen more than one of these in pieces in the bottom of an engine, and that's probably why. So that is why you want minimal end float. Keep that in place and don't give it any chance of falling out. But anyway, it's now very definitely time to hand this over to John at Aeron and let him measure this up and measure this up and decide whether he can just grind this to a good size to fit in there with perhaps no more than 1/1000th of an inch clearance, or whether that might need a little bit of reaming or whatever. I'll see what he thinks about that, but it's all in situ now and ready for him to look at. And then hopefully once he's done his bit, it should just be a matter of getting any and all new parts that we need and put the thing back together. But we're right on the turning point now, and from here on hopefully there'll be progress in the right direction.